here are some mixed review problems that cover a lot of the exponent rules that we have learned over the last several days. This is actually a good little quiz review for the types of problems you're going to see on the exponent rules quiz. So I would like you to pause the video, work these 7 problems, and then use the video to check your work. Okay, so here are the answers. Check your answers, make any corrections if you need to, and then let me know if there's anything that you did not understand. So today we're going to learn and use one final exponent rule. There are other exponent rules that we're not going to look at right now, but these are the ones that are going to come up later as we get into more of our material this year. And this one is called the power rule. And the deal with the power rule is you have an exponent raised to a power. So you have 2 exponents, right? Sometimes you will see this called a power to a power. So we have a power, we're raising it to a power, and we're calling this a power rule. So this is 4 cubed, or 4 to the 3rd power, raised to the 4th power. Again, we're going to use our definitions of exponents to write this. If I have 4 cubed raised to the 4th power, that means I am going to write 4 to the 3rd power 4 times, right? 4 cubed, or 4 to the 3rd power, raised to the 4th power, means 4 to the 3rd power. We're multiplying 4 to the 3rd power 4 times. Now we're going to use our multiplying with the same bases, right? I am multiplying the base of 4 over and over and over again. So my rule is to add these exponents, right? So I'm going to keep the base, and I have 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12. I could actually expand that even more, right? I could do 3 4s and 3 4s and 3 4s and 3 4s, but that would be a lot of 4s. It'd be 12, in fact, okay? So let's look at the next one. I have a to the 2nd power raised to the 3rd power. A to the 2nd power raised to the 3rd power. That means I'm going to multiply a to the 2nd power times itself 3 times, okay? Now I'm going to go back and use my multiplying powers with the same base. So I am going to take the a, and then I've got 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 6. I have 2 a's times 2 a's times 2 a's, which is a to the 6th power. Now here's what I want you to look at. Look at what we started with. I started with a 3 and a 4 and as exponents, and my new exponent was 12. I started with a 2 and a 3 as my exponents. Teachers, please. And I ended with an exponent of 6. So look at where we started, look at where we ended, and tell me what you notice. What do you think the rule is for a power raised to a power? So here it is. Is this what you noticed? When raising a power to a power, what do we do to the exponents? We multiply the exponents. Is that what you saw? 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 3 was 6. So here I have x to the 4th raised to the 9th. This would be x to the 4 times 9. So this would be x to the 36th power. If I have 5 to the 6th raised to the 4th, this is going to be 5 to the 6th times 4, which is 5 to the 24th power. What would the exponent be for y to the 7th raised to the 4th? That would be y to the 28th, right? Because 7 times 4 is 28. One way that you might be able to remember this rule is when the exponents are written side by side like this. The 4 and 9 are written really close together. The 6 and 4 are close together. The 7 and 4 are side by side. You multiply, just like anything that we write side by side normally in just a normal expression means multiplication. Now, we're going to put this rule to use by looking at products raised to the power. So notice here I have 7c all raised to the third power. Those parentheses tell me that 7c is my base. So this means 7c times 7c times 7c, right? So notice I have 7 times itself 3 times, that's 7 to the third power, and c times itself 3 times, that's c to the third power. So notice that this 3 was given to the 7 and the c. That exponent was given to both factors. This is not distributive property, okay? Distributive property means something very specific, but it sort of works like distributive property. You take that exponent and you give it to each of the factors. This only works when you multiply. Now, the one thing that we are going to want to do is take care of that 7 to the third power. So you're going to do 7, and then you're going to do your power key on your calculator, which is just to the upper left of your 7. So 7 power key 3 is 343, and then c cubed. Okay, so this time, let's say we have 5x to the 7th all raised to the second power. So my base is 5x to the 7th. So I'm going to take this exponent and I'm going to give it to the 5 and the x to the 7th. So this is going to be 5 raised to the second power and x to the 7th raised to the second power. We're going to simplify 5 to the second power. 5 times 5 is 25. And then x to the 7th raised to the second. This is the power rule that we just used. That's a power to a power. So we multiply the powers, and 7 times 2 is 14. The next one, the base is 2x squared, and that is being raised to the 4th power. So that means 2 is being raised to the 4th power, and x squared is being raised to the 4th power. So 2 to the 4th power, if you don't know that right off the top of your head, you can do 2 power key 4 in your calculator, and you're going to get 16. And then x squared raised to the 4th, that's the power rule. So I multiply the powers, and 2 times 4 is 8. All right, so let's get all wild and crazy. Now I have 5q to the 4th r squared all raised to the 5th. So this is still a product. It's still being raised to a power. So you raise each factor to the power. So we're going to take the 5 and raise it to the 5th power. We're going to take q to the 4th, raise it to the 5th power, and r squared, raise it to the 5th power. So use your calculator and tell me what 5 to the 5th power is. 5 to the 5th power is 3,125. Now, tell me what the exponent for q is going to be. You should get q to the 20th because 4 times 5 is 20. Now, tell me what the exponent for r is going to be. The exponent for r is 10 because 2 times 5 is 10. So my final answer is 3,125, q to the 20th, r to the 10th. All right, the next one's just a longer product. It's all multiplied. This only works because this is a product raised to a power. So tell me, work this out, and then you're going to tell me what the different parts are. What is your coefficient going to be? Your coefficient is 3 to the 4th, which is 81. Now look at x and tell me what the exponent for x is going to be. X to the 8th is going to be raised to the 4th, which is going to give you x to the 32nd power. Look at your y. tell me what the new exponent for y is going to be. Y to the 5th is going to be raised to the 4th, which is going to give us y to the 20th. And finally, tell me what the exponent for z is going to be after you simplify. It's z to the 8th. So my final answer is 81 x to the 32nd power times y to the 20th power times z to the 8th. Okay, we're ready to go.